session about this networking and this master program. So we as a company, we are dealing with cloud security and other IT certification trainings across world. And under this program or under this portfolio, we are running this master program for 104, 500, and 700 for Azure. So please confirm, voice is clear, everything is fine?
Yes, clear.
Okay, so I will start with this certification roadmap idea and overview about these three skills, key area, and I'll take one small topic, maybe a virtual network or Bastion host. At least one or two small topics, at least I'll cover here so that you get a very fair idea how we deal with the diagram, scenarios, explanation, and all other stuff. Myself, Vikas, 20 years experience into Microsoft domain. Started my first job year 2004, working with Active Directory Exchange roles. Last 10 years working on hybrid migration things and people moving towards Exchange to cloud, dealing with Azure infrastructure, Azure security, and from training perspective, giving trainings to across world, normally covering US and Europe corporates, and doing consulting work on these, and certified trainer from last 17, 18 years. So just half an hour before, I just finished, one Intune class for Europe customer. So this training will be a complete hands-on, this master program. And we will cover three things here. AZ-104, which is admin track, AZ-700 network track, and AZ-500 security track. So in 104 is one of the critical track in IT industry, I can say. People are moving towards cloud. You do any job or you are currently doing any job, network admin, security admin, or Windows admin, Linux admin, any interview you are going towards today and tomorrow, definitely they will ask something on cloud. Cloud means two things, Azure and AWS. And in Azure, they will ask this 104, which includes your complete administration track, VM, network, load balancer, storage. And this course is intended for anyone who is deal with IT experience, minimum 2 years and above, and ready to move towards cloud. So that's called AZ-104. In this, officially, when we cover in the corporate world, we start with this identity, governance, Azure administration, networking, VPN, load balancer, storage, VM, like this will be the flow. So same here, we just split into 2 hours session and we'll do the same flow mostly. Slide mode, okay, let's do it. So now that's the flow, we will do it here. And from exam perspective, as per Microsoft, they divide into this 4 or 5 buckets, average 20% for each bucket. You see, identities, storage, compute, networking, and the backup. So last, I will cover, not today, after the course, how to do exam tips and tricks. what you need to prepare after this training to go for exam as well. And benefits, I said, this particular course is beneficial for 2 years experience, even 25 years experience person also. I train worldwide for UK, US clients, all level of people. Because when you move towards a new skill or move towards the industry standard, experience hardly matters, but minimum definitely need 2 years. So it can be a career enhancement, it can be learning skill, or moving towards cloud. This 104 come into the picture, which talk about your network, storage, virtual machine, governance, identity, everything. Later stage, after 104, it will come with advanced 500 security network, AC 700, architect track 305, like that. Next level will, after this, will have 500, which is little difficult exam, Azure security, which is intended for covering entire security portfolio for Azure. Here we will talk about Azure Firewall, Azure WAF, Web Application Firewall, Service Endpoint, Private Endpoints, how to do a security call, bash and host, jump box, lots of SQL encryption, SQL storage encryption, key vault, lots of very deep components on security. Here again we have 4 buckets: identity, security identity, what you call platform, operations, and data and application. Roughly 20-25% buckets. You see, I'm not saying this is a Microsoft bifurcation. Under platform, they will ask you firewall, NSG, DDoS, lots of things. Key vault here. And here again, we start with the flow: Enter ID, identity protection, privilege identity management, hybrid, parameter security, network, host, key vault, storage and database security, Sentinel, security center, like that. And same 2 hour session, we divide all this. Benefits of AZ500. So AZ500 benefit is, first of all, it's a security. Anybody who is coming from a Cisco and Juniper security background, that's also helpful for them. Or anyone coming from 104 to the next level 500, that is also helpful for them. And overall, it's a valuable as per the job market 500. And here we will cover everything on the hands-on. So normally people ask, CCSP, Certified Cloud Security Professional, is better or this better? CCSP is a generic cloud certification. Generic, no hands-on. This one is specific to Azure and complete hands-on exam. That's a big difference between CCSP and AZ500. Prerequisites, at least 104. If it is there, it's good. Otherwise, at least very good knowledge on the security, VPN, network, DNS, all this on-premises basic stuff should be there. That's why we normally do 104 first, 500, and then 700, like that. Third one is AZ700, Azure Network. So anyone who is coming from network background and just need to focus on AZ700 networks, that's a special one for them, which cover complete routing, VPN, load balancing, some firewall. Firewall is in the security also, firewall is here also, because in a network, once you have a network, then you have a firewall, right? And when you talk about insecurity, definitely firewall comes. So one or two few topics overlap. So this one is complete intended for network people, AC700. Again, benefits, you will do the network load balancing, VPN, routing. So benefit is it's a specialized track for the network, and you will do the complete hands-on on the network scenarios here. So that's why we done this combo, all three together. So now I started this Azure journey in 2014. I worked with a couple of big MNC company till senior manager level. And in 2014, after that, another 2 years, 2015 and 14 and 15, and I've done this first exam of Azure. And after that, done so many on the Azure domain, mainly on infrastructure and security. So now I'm taking two topics here. One is virtual network, one is Jumpbox, and one is a Bastion host. Three things. So what is virtual network? As you know, Azure is a public cloud. So you see, my last class, the people done all these Intune things, the corporate people for Europe. So now, as you know, it's a public cloud. So public cloud is a region specific where you want to deploy Azure. It's a region specific. When we do the AZ104, definitely we talk about what is a cloud benefits. But we are not doing that basic here. We are talking about VNet. So if this VNet I deploy in a, say example, we are in India. So say, or let's say East Asia, Singapore. When you deploy this VNet, so what is VNet? VNet will create a infrastructure component into the cloud, which gives you a IP address topology to your workloads. If you need an IP address or need to assign IP address to the servers, you need this VNet. And same VNet tomorrow, you have a company network. Say my office is in Wipro in Bangalore, and my VPN is there. Same VNet will integrate for VPN services. So this VNet will give a IP addressing components to the cloud first, and same VNet tomorrow integrate with the on-premises network. So when you define this VNet, you need to define address space. Address space is nothing like a range. I'm saying 10.0.0.0, 16. 10 means, and 16 means class B. So total 65,000 roughly IPs, you will get it. So you define /8/24. Anything, it's up to you. 16 means class B, 65,000 IP. Total IP is 65,000. Yes, guys, everyone are aware. Very basic. Class A, class B, class C, something very basic. Otherwise, in
Yes,
one,
yes.
otherwise in 104, I will cover this fundamental also. So total is 65,000 IPs, Now, as a best practice, we define logical subnet. Subnet 1, subnet 2, subnet 3. Subnet 1 is my jump box. Subnet 2 is my web subnet. Subnet 3 is my database subnet. Like that. And all this subnet is a part of this range. 10.0.0.0 24. 10.0.0.0 1.0. Next subnet will be 2.0, right? Based on my range, I just 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0. Yes or no, guys? Right? Logic is clear, right? Yes? Anyone say yes, no? Logic is clear so far?
Yes.
Okay. So now one beautiful question comes up here. Why we need three subnets, Why not we do one? Any reason? So this will be interactive, right? So anybody can answer. So why we do three? Why not one? Anyone? No? Why you create three subnets? Why not we done everything one? No answer?
No answer.
Okay. But at least you do a guess, right? Even incorrect also, it's fine.
I think, sir, it's for
Security.
scalability, like security as
Security.
well.
Security. I am a admin. I connect over internet these machines. Over internet, I don't want to connect my web servers, database, very critical servers. So I put some firewall rules on these subnets. If I put everything on one subnet, I cannot bifurcate these rules. It's a security. So I'm starting the topic. I'm only asking a question and I'm only answering as of now why we need three. Three or whatever, 4 or 5. Now, so logically I divide 10, 0, 0, 0 to 24. 254 IPs, we will get it here. First three IPs are reserved in Azure. So first VM, second VM, third VM. First VM IP because I am belongs to my Jumpbox subnet. If three IPs are reserved, then first valid IP is IP number 4. Any guess? What is the first valid IP for web subnet?
1.1.
1.4.
1.4 because first three are reserved and second is 2.4.
2.4.
Like that. If I build another machine in the same subnet, so definitely it's 2.5 next IP. Like that. And because all this VNet, all this VNet or all these subnets are a part of same VNet, so we have by default these components can talk each other because every subnet is a part of same VNet. VNet 1. Now, as I said, Azure is a region specific. So region specific means if I deploy in East Asia, Singapore, my VM also in a East Asia. Why? When I deploy my VM, if my VNet is in the same region, then only I can select the VNet and then subnet. In other words, if my VNet is in East Asia, and I'm trying to deploy my VM in, say, East Australia, example, definitely I'm not able to select this VNet. It's a logic, right? It's a basic fundamental. Wherever my VNet is there, VM has to be there. If I need VM in Australia region, indirectly I need my VNet should be in Australia region. Definitely, right? Make sense? Because Azure is region specific. Yes, guys, make sense? So that's called VNet. And as I said, tomorrow, this VNet is that much critical. Example, I'll just rub this quickly. Same VNet, if my company network on-prem Wipro, my Wipro router, here also I built my router and I'll do the VPN services. It means tomorrow I need a hybrid connectivity. Same VNet we integrate with my Cisco router. So it means this VNet is that much critical, in Azure. Now, Jumpbox and the Bastion host. So I'll create one VNet first. So I go to my resource group. Resource group is like a folder. If I deploy something, some project or something, we create one project name. So I have my folder called trainer primary, and I'm using a region called UK South. So I'm creating a virtual network now under this. So first is virtual network. VNet UK South, an IP address range 10.0.0.0.16.65,000 something. I do it 24.256. I do /8, 16 million. So you decide how much slash you need, overall address space. So I'm doing /16 and then define logical subnets. Subnet 01, my jump box, 10.0.0.0/24. Subnet number 2, my database or my web subnet. First one is 00, next is 10. He's very intelligent. How much slash you need? You do it as per your need. 2 subnet, jump box and web subnet. So everything is in UK South. Now I'm creating a virtual machine. My folder, UK South, VM1. It's my first Jumpbox machine. Windows 11 machine. Agreement. Here you see, I blocked lots of VM size. I allow only B2MS and B1MS for my subscription. I have done all this security. So I'll put my password. Disk, I restricted based on the cost. Premium cannot be allowed. Standard only allowed. Networking, you see, my VNet already there, my subnet already selected. On which subnet you want this VM? Public IP, RDP, rest everything is default. So you build the VM. So what is the IP address of this VM? Any guess? The private IP? 10 dot?
0.0.4.
Yes.
0.4.
Yes. If I go to my VNet, not now, VM is going on, but if I go to my VNet and connected devices, you see, I'm not saying we got the NIC card 10004, private IP. So same way, we'll do it. What is Jumpbox? See, Jumpbox is nothing. It's a security arrangement, nothing else. So this is my VNet. Jumpbox machine subnet, my web subnet, my SQL subnet, and all part of my single VNet. So now what happened? This is my Jumpbox. So what happened in reality, when you build a VM, you got two IPs actually. One is a red IP and one is a green IP by default. Red means public IP. Green means private IP. And as a best practice in production, we never use public IP. Public IP means anybody in the world can try to connect. Any reason, Yes, guys, any reason why we should not have a public IP? Any guess?
DDoS attack.
Yes, people do millions of attack. So we don't need public IP. So what we have done is one VM we created in the jump box. It's not my production machine, and we have a public IP. And all other my production machine, my web subnet, my SQL subnet, all have green IP only. What is the benefit? Anybody in the world, even my admin, cannot connect this green machine. If not connect, people cannot do attack also. So I'll connect only from jump box, public IP, and from there I do the private IP, RDP into RDP. Yes or no? And if anybody do some attack, I'm not worried because this is not my prod machine. Yes? Logic is clear?
Yes, yes.
Why I have done this thing? I'll show you. You see, when I deploy a VM without best practice way, you see, I got public IP also. So what is the status of this VM? It's still creating, no problem. But once it is done, you see public IP already allocated. Anybody can do the attack on this IP. If it is a prod VM, it's very dangerous. And if this practice we do, one dedicated subnet, one VM, two VMs, whatever, and not a prod VMs, and we put a red IP, no problem. And other prod VMs should not have a red IP, only private IP. Now my VM is ready. Refresh, running, public IP is there. Anybody in this world type MSTSC. If you're not in Office network, maybe, but generally copy paste, anybody can, access this. So that's called the jump box, where you do some arrangement. Next is Bastion host. The last topic. Microsoft has one service in Azure called Bastion host. So if you deploy this Bastion host, you need a dedicated subnet and you deploy this service. It got one public IP also, this service. So what is the benefit of this service? User or admin log in into the portal and they kickstart one TLS session, 443 session, and they connect to the VM with their private IP. So without using any public IP, we can connect the web session, web console of the VM with the help of this service. So Bastion host is a secure service to connect Azure VM web console. And on top, we are not using any public IP involvement on this VM. All connection will go through TLS 443 private IP session. Make sense?
Yes.
It's an alternative method to connect the VM. One method is jump box, second method is this. What is the big difference? In the first method, very easy. I log into my jump box machine first, log in, and from there I log in private IP, RDP into RDP. But here you have to log into the portal first. Without portal login, you cannot kickstart this web session. So this is a session, connect via Bastion. So for that, what you need, go to the virtual network, go to the subnets. You need a dedicated subnet called Azure Bastion subnet, A caps, B caps, S caps, /26. So deploy dedicated subnet. And deploy Bastion. Which folder? Same folder, trainer primary, UK South, Kumar Bastion service. Which network? My network automatically picked up Bastion subnet. public IP. So Microsoft will release a public IP against this name. That's it. It takes 15 minutes. Once it's done, then if any VM in my network, if don't have any public IP, still we are able to connect the web session of the console. As soon as I click this option and do this. Not right now because this will take 15 minutes to deploy. Yes, guys, makes sense. Even Microsoft is saying Azure Bastion protects your virtual machine by secure and seamless connection without need of exposing public IP. Right? And now so now I'll take your questions, So overall, guys, everything is clear so far? Good?
Hi, Vikas. I just want to ask a question. Actually, what is the difference between Jumpbox and Azure
Question.
version?
Jumpbox and?
Azure version.
So difference is, I told you, I log in with the RDP first to the public IP, right? To the Jumpbox machine, right? And from Jumpbox,
Okay.
I log into
Okay.
the private IP, the next machine through a private IP, means RDP into RDP, right?
Okay. Okay.
Correct. But here, this method, user has to log into the portal, definitely. I show you the option where he has to kickstart this thing. So it means the real difference is, see, overall, it's a secure way. The difference is like here, portal login, we need to give to the employee, to the admin, mandatory, if they need to use Bash and all.
Okay.
Yeah. You see, right? The
Yes. Yes.
overall output is same secure, but the way to do is little different. But if it is Bastion, you need to log into the portal. Without portal, you cannot get this option. You cannot use Bastion.
Okay. And Azure version is basically, I think we can connect through internet only, right?
No, no, no. So now you
Uh,
see, now I log into the portal, right? Assume you
okay.
have, I have another machine which is not having a public IP. So still I
Okay.
can connect this, type username
Mm-hmm.
and password. It give me a web console of the VM. Let me show you one example because here time is little short, right? So I have not done that. Deployment is take 20 minutes.
Okay.
So go
No,
to,
you just give the overview.
no, I'll tell you, I'll show you the output, of
Okay.
that. So go to NW, this folder access I will give you. So AZ104 labs day one. So now Bastion, Jumpbox and Bastion. So now you see, so you see now we created another VM here, which is having no public IP. You see public IP none. So let me
Yes.
do a little zoom. The first VM is Jumpbox with public IP. Second VM, that's why I done this arrow without public IP.
Yes.
So
Yes.
first we connect to the public IP, then RDP into the private IP. That's called normal way, RDP.
Okay.
But if I do a jump box, sorry, the Bastion host, we make a network /26 and we
Okay.
deploy the service, take 10 minutes. When we connect this option, connect. So it
Mm-hmm.
actually asks me use this option, type the password, and it kickstart the web session, HTTPS web session of the console. Can you see?
Okay. Okay. Got it.
That's the difference.
Perfect.
So now don't wait this will really 15-20 minutes. So meanwhile, you can ask your question if you have anything, at this point of time.
Like
So
to use.
basically, sir, in the jump box, we need one virtual machine which is having public IP, right?
Correct. Dedicated subnet, and it's
Dedicated.
not a prod subnet. Yes.
And in the Bastion host, all the VMs can have private IP. We can access it on the Azure portal, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. And this Bastion host is integrated with a VNet. So any VM belongs to same VNet, we can connect all the VMs. Single Bastion host.
all right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, to use these services, we need to subscription, right? Like
Right.
Azure.
Right.
Okay, so what will the cost like if there is some particular subscription things, and what is the like process
Which one?
to use these services? Like we are using Azure like Bastion and Jumpbox. Also, we are creating like
Hmm.
virtual machine now.
Hmm.
So, what is the subscription cost?
Subscription cost. So it will be less cost only. There are free trial is available. There is a pay as you go available, which we use the service, whatever service we use, we pay it. So there are some services available. I will discuss on day one, what type of subscription we have
Okay, okay,
overall in Microsoft world, and definitely one we need that, for practice.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's not that big cost. So now, Gaurav sir, you can take it forward.
Sir, I have one question, please.
Yes, please.
Sir, did AZ-104